Many years ago, I had invented an unusual diet, but it did not work. But it had a nugget of truth to it, and I thought I'd share it in this video because it gave me a lesson in other areas in life. So a little background, earlier this week I was with a friend of mine and I was asking him how he feels about Christmas. And he was really sad by that, and I could tell there was something wrong, and I quickly apologized, and he said, no, it's not a problem. He says that he had just been diagnosed with some kind of problem, and he mentioned a condition. I don't remember what it was because I never heard it before, but he mentioned that he won't be able to enjoy all his favorite foods over the next couple of weeks, and possibly for a long time. And I felt bad for him that he said he won't be able to quote-unquote enjoy, because I think enjoyment isn't about the food itself, it's about the frame of mind that you take into Christmas. But I let him say it because he obviously needed to vent. But it reminded me when I was about his age, I had also started eating healthy. I had another condition, not the one that he has, but I had also started to clean up my diet. And my first couple of months, I experimented with very wacky diets. I starved myself, I tried weird things, and then I tried this one pattern that did not work. And this is what I'm going to be talking about in this video. What I thought about was, I was reading about Pavlov's experiment with his dogs and ringing a bell after feeding the dog. And I thought, if every day after a big meal I would listen to the same music, and then on the days I wasn't eating so big, to listen to that same song again, I could condition myself to feel like I had a good meal, even though I only ate half as much as I used to. It seemed logical. I mean, looking at Pavlov's experiment and translating it into my diet, it seemed like a very reasonable experiment to do, but it failed. And I'll let you think about why. If you want to pause the video, I'll let you think about why it won't work in real life. The big problem is that it's not sustainable. You can listen to the song for a week and then maybe cut back on your food for a couple days and feel okay, but after a couple days the song becomes conditioned with not having enough to eat. What was really funny was that Christmas I was watching World Idol. Kelly Clarkson had competed against 9 other idols from around the world, and I used to have a big crush on Kelly Clarkson. I only watched it, I only tuned in because of her. But I ended up voting for a different girl that I liked even better on the show. And this was in the dark ages before YouTube, and people were illegally downloading music online. I think it was LimeWire or BearShare, or maybe even Napster. I can't remember how long ago Napster was. And I downloaded her album. She had about 12 to 14 songs. And every night after dinner, I would listen to her songs. And then I would come back and then keep listening to her songs, and so they did not work. And then I would listen to a different song of hers, and then it would work for a couple of days, and then it wouldn't work. The problem is that in the long run, it didn't work at all, because I would gain the weight back on the days that I had to recondition my body. And it kind of reminds me that it's a life lesson that, well, first of all, if you have any suggestions for how to make this diet work, leave a comment, but I highly doubt it will work because of a problem, a flaw that it exposes, and that's that if you have a lifestyle that thrives on imbalance, or you thrive on a state of flux, you got to be ready to be disappointed that flux does not last forever. So I have a big problem that I love breaking up from a relationship. Every time I break up with a girl or even a close male friend, that's when I really find myself. Because I'm tuning out of the relationship. Maybe a couple examples. When I was working on my PhD at Rochester Institute of Technology, I had a girlfriend who was taking advantage of me. Actually, yesterday I was talking to my parents and they were still worried about me being taken advantage by the girl. I don't see it as a big loss. When I broke up with her, I really found myself. I had broken up with her during the spring one year, and then that summer I really did a lot of things by myself, and I learned that life can be fun with and without the girl, and I still carry on that lesson today. 5 years ago I had broken up with another girl It was a long-distance relationship, and we broke up because she wanted children, and I wasn't ready to have children yet. And I was leaving her place. I took a bus to the airport. I remember it being really drizzly that day. It was very depressing weather. And then a plane took off, and we went above the clouds, and it was really sunny. And I remember just feeling like I'm flying out to the rest of my life, and it's really sunny out there. And I came home, and I wrote a number of computer games, and I won a gold medal in the Computer Olympiad for the first time in my life. And then a couple months after that, I had met another girl here in Seattle, a lot younger than the one that I was visiting, and we broke up. She accused me of seeing another girl. There wasn't another girl. The other quote-unquote girl I was seeing was my computer games, but she didn't believe that. And I told her, you know what, I love my computer games a lot more than you. If you want to behave that way, I'm going to storm out. And I stormed out of her place, and I was so upset because I wasn't convinced yet. I said it out loud, but I was still trying to convince myself I should break up with her. And I was so upset I drove out into the night, and I got lost. I was trying to find my way home to Redmond, where I live. She lives in Bellevue. But I ended up in Ellensburg, 2 hours away, when it should have been like a 10-15 minute drive. And that was my first vacation in Ellensburg, if you will, and I really liked it. And Ellensburg has been a place that I go to as a little escape, if you will. It's something I can go during a weekend or even just overnight if I have to, and very nice. And more recently, I didn't break up with a girl, but a little bit of turbulence because she just has other things going on in her life, and I wrote some computer programs to analyze the stock market. Recently I discovered that it's called astrology. The stock market reacts to different patterns of planets in the solar system, and I'm trying to make some I'm trying to advance some of those theories. It's very rudimentary what they have right now. I'm thinking of actually simulating the solar system, seeing how stocks react to other events that can come up in the solar system, because I love viewing them in the sky anyway. So if I can make money doing that as well by trading stocks when it's favorable, that's very nice. But the reason I bring this up is I thrive on breaking up. The problem is that I can't break up with a girl without first investing in the relationship. There's no such thing as a steady state of breaking up every day, right? Just like there's no such thing as a steady state of being conditioned that a song makes you feel full, right? At least not that I know of. 15 years ago, I really wish there was. It kind of reminds me of people who get some kind of enjoyment out of living in danger. At some point, that danger has to end, right? If you're skydiving, if you're I want to go space diving someday. So this guy had jumped from 140,000 feet or something like that. But at some point, that jump has to end. And then you have to start over again. There's no steady state of constantly being in a jump, right? Right now, actually, two of my family members are kind of in a little bit of relationship turmoil. And, I feel a little concerned for them, but at the same time, I'm going to guess they're going to really find themselves. Many years ago on the radio, Taylor Swift was constantly coming up with new breakup songs, and I really could relate to that. That was around the time during the heyday of my breaking up and enjoying finding myself, and everybody laughed at her, but I really related to that. But unfortunately, if your life thrives on being in flux, you got to be ready for the idea that flux does not last forever.